What's up, guys? Today we have another catch, clean, and cook episode. Today we're gonna be having a recipe that I have never tried before. We're gonna be having bacon wrapped stuffed venison backstrap. Now, what is venison? Well, in layman's terms, venison is deer meat. And since deer is a wild game, let's cut to where we got this delicious animal. I see 2 deer. They're like 50 yards that way. I'm gonna take one. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this meal. So going over the ingredients first, we have the main event, which is the deer backstrap. What we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna butterfly it, which means we're just gonna pretty much make a cut down the middle, pretty much open both sides, and fill it with our stuffing mix that we're actually gonna make. So that stuffing mix is going to consist of 8 ounces of cream cheese. I did a little, like probably a half a cup of parsley, and then it suggested 8 ounces of portobello mushrooms chopped up, but I think that was a little too much, so I'm just gonna do roughly a 1/4 cup of mushrooms. And then we have a diced up yellow onion. So we're gonna mix all that. That's gonna be our stuffing mix. So what we're gonna do once we have our stuffing mix, we're gonna cut the meat, insert the stuffing mix, and then we're gonna end up bacon wrapping this whole length of the entire meat. And we have a couple seasonings that we're gonna do. So we have Himalayan salt that's gonna be on the meat itself, same with the cracked pepper. And then once we bacon wrap it, we're gonna add a little bit of this pig powder barbecue rub. So that should give it a good caramelized finish once we're done broiling it in the oven. Now we're going to butterfly our meat. I think we're gonna switch it to going right down this seam here. And we're gonna cut just barely to the middle. Be sure and be careful to not cut all the way through the meat, because then you're gonna destroy the thing we're trying to do here. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can execute this cut. Alright, first for our stuffing mix, we're going to add all of these ingredients to the mixing bowl and then go ahead and whip it up. And once it's to the desired texture that you want, then you can go ahead and you could even put it in the fridge just for a little bit, or you can just leave it at room temperature and go ahead and fill up your meat after you are done cutting it. Next, we're gonna take our mixture with the cream cheese and all the veggies, and we're gonna put this, any desired amount in between here, and then we're gonna get to the bacon wrapping. So here's this step. Alright, now we're gonna take our cut of meat and try to kind of fold it back up. It's okay if some of this stuff kind of comes out. There we go. It doesn't need to be closed all the way, just, somewhat wrapped up so that stuffing stays in. You can even go ahead and just push it down with your fingers. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and take some of this sea salt and go ahead and kind of just cover your sides of your meat, and you can even go to the bottom side if you really want to. So. And we're also gonna do a little bit of the pepper. All right, flip it over and we can do the same thing. Alright, now we're going to take the bacon and we're just going to wrap each piece around the meat. And then we're going to go ahead and stick a toothpick through each one. And then we're going to add this last step of the barbecue pig powder rub. And that's going to be our finishing touch before we put it in the oven. So let's get to it. Alright, now we're all bacon wrapped. We're going to go ahead and throw little toothpicks in each one. Now we got the finishing touch, a little rub. Here we have just a regular sized baking pan. You're gonna need some aluminum foil, cooking spray, just to spray down our foil with. Go ahead and take a whole sheet about the length of your pan, right here. Take some of your oil. All sprayed down now. Now we're going to cover the top with foil and we're going to get ready to throw it in. Already got the oven preheated to 375. It's kind of a little guess on here. We're going to put it in for at least 30 minutes and check on it. It'd be better if you have a meat probe so you can make sure that your meat is done thoroughly. Roughly 165 is what we're reaching for on the inside. We're gonna wait for that to get out the oven. Something special about this recipe is that it does involve wild game, so it takes a little bit more than just going to the market and getting something that's been already processed. I went out and got this animal myself and butchered it and did all that just by myself, so it means a lot more when you cook meat and harvest it on your own. So hopefully it turns out great, and I guess we'll get back to you when it comes out the oven. Alright, so it's about done. The meat is sitting at about 158, but we're gonna throw it back in the oven on broil this time instead of just regular bake. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna crisp up the bacon, give it a more of a kind of a crunchy texture. So we're gonna do that. Hopefully by the time we're done with that, it's gonna be sitting around 165, 170. So the meat should be cooked thoroughly. And then we're gonna cut it up and see how we did. Alright guys, we are finished cooking our backstrap. I can tell you it smells delicious, and the bacon's crispy, it's soft the inside, which is what we want. We want it just to slice right through. Deer tends to be a little bit pretty tender, I would say. It's a drier meat too, so but it looks like we kept the juices in pretty well. That's what the tin foil kind of comes in help for. So we're gonna cut into this and give it a taste. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and give this a try and see if it's good. Again, I've never tried something like this before, but I've seen recipes similar. So, looks delicious. Cheers. Wow. Meat's definitely done. It's really moist. Normally deer is super dry. That's nice and moist. I think the cream cheese helped. I taste all the veggies. It tastes like a soup in like a meat form. Man, it's really good. Definitely recommend it. If you're a deer hunter, this is a really easy recipe to go out and do. It doesn't take any processing of the meat. You literally just cut out the backstrap from the animal. Do all the steps that I've shown in this video, and you'll have yourself a pretty easy and pretty gourmet meal. I'll catch you guys on the next episode of A Catch, Clean, and Cook. See ya.